Do it, Dragic. Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs.
Happy Thanksgiving week, everyone. A special Tuesday edition of Gimme the Hot Sauce coming your way as everybody's getting ready to make their travel plans to head out to visit family and friends for Thanksgiving. We are all here in studio. Stacey's alongside. He's getting ready to head out on a 6-game road trip, although it's going to be one game, and then 4 as they head out to the West Coast. Timmy's here, and we have a special guest in studio, the one and only Andy, representing Angel Water. Andy, first of all, I want to apologize for the conduct of my two co-hosts that we've butchered your read for all these weeks. We're sorry. We appreciate your business.
Okay, first of all, before you even say anything,
Here it comes.
Mark,
Here
you
it
know
comes.
what, Mark, you're the biggest suck up I've ever seen in my life. Okay, Mark is acting like he's not involved. And ladies and gentlemen, America, let us introduce Chief Little Legs. Okay, he is known as Chief Little Legs. I know you guys saying, "Who's Andy?" We don't ever heard Andy before. You know about Chief Little Legs. Our little stories about Chief Little Legs. He's right here in studio today, and he's sitting on a phone book. But he's here today. He's gracing our appearance.
But Mark makes a good point. We're trying to keep sponsors.
Yes,
now.
we're trying to run people off.
Tell me you suck it up too.
Oh, no, I won't. Hey,
man.
just like you give me 30 years of abuse, I've now passed it on down to Andy here. So that's
Hey, you know what they say? Shit rolls downhill. That's all they say.
All I can say is I came back to get my money back. That's all.
Hey, well, you know what? We're going to write a check for $25 and give it back to you.
So did you play basketball with these guys back in the day?
I sure did, yeah.
So was Tim as bad as Stacey said?
No, I think Tim was quite good, to be honest. Yeah, he was very good. It's Stacey that was the king, though.
Thank you. There's only a few of us, Andy, that our jerseys are hung up in the rafters at Forest Grove, which is now called Midtown. Is it Midtown, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a member back in Midtown. I'm the one in the city, though. I'm in the high-end, high-class one in the city.
Okay.
Yeah. That's to tell you, some really good talent down there, too. I just want to throw that out there.
So if we put Andy's and my jersey together, our old crusty shirts, could we get up in the rafters?
Andy's jersey will be up there before yours.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
man.
How about that?
Yeah,
The 30 years of abuse. Now, who's the suck up now?
So
We're trying to keep sponsors, baby.
So Tim's
$25 is important to you.
Tim's role was supposed to be standing in the corner, wait for the ball to shoot. What was your role on the squad?
I hit the 3-point line, from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Stacey would back it in and toss it out to me. And then he'd come along and slap my ass, and his hand covered my whole butt.
Okay, that's TMI right there. That's TMI right there.
I liked
Hey,
it.
America, there was no slapping his little booty, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there. It ain't that type of party, baby.
So sometimes it was hey, Andy, go get us, 8, 9 fouls.
You couldn't foul out in the league?
No.
Well, you could, but he could hide.
Yeah. No, seriously, though, he's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah.
And Tim was a good player. I joke about Tim. I mean, Tim can only go one way. He was like Manu Ginobili. He can only go one way, left hand, okay? He was the original Manu, okay? That's all he did was left-handed. And you know what?
Minor whispers, they call it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, both these guys could actually play. We had some really good runs at Forest Grove.
Won some titles.
Yeah, we won a lot of titles. We would meet up before we went out there. We said, all right, meet over at 5:30. We all be on the same team, and then we'd run the court all day until people got hip to that. Like Jimmy the redhead assassin, he got hip to that and says, no, you guys can't do that anymore. You guys can't
he's a
meet
listener.
early.
Jimmy's a listener.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Jimmy the Redhead Assassin. Okay? And listen, I gave everybody nicknames, okay? Jimmy the Redhead Assassin, just picture that name. He's redhead and he's an assassin. He's a guy that if you went to the hole and you had a dunk, he's a guy that would run underneath your and cut you off.
Oh, great. Yeah.
That's why we call him the assassin, because he was always trying to assassinate somebody.
Yeah, those are dangerous games. You got to be careful. Always protect yourself.
Yeah. Well, we had fun. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. Stacey, you had nicknames for almost everybody.
See, everybody thinks the nicknames came to the Bulls, okay? But these guys, it started way back in the day playing pickup games with these guys. I mean, I would be sitting on the sideline if my team, which we very rarely lost, but if I happened to be sitting on the sideline because we were tired or we'd run the court and we were going home, we would just sit there and clown all the other people. Like we had this one guy named Charlie. He had, he was T-Rex. He had short arms. And so one time it was like a night game. He was running after the ball, and he could have got it. He could have got the ball. He just let it go, you know. And then I said, well, if it had been a cheeseburger, he would have got it. And then that stuck with him. And so we had a lot of fun. That's kind of where all the nicknames came from.
What was the best nickname ever?
Oh man!
Besides all the ones you gave Clyde, but The guys from
Buddy
Northwestern. The guys from Northwestern.
Oh, Powder. We had a guy. we had a guy that played. What is his name?
No. He was buddies with the Big Ten Player of the Year.
But he did play. He did
he
play.
played at Northwestern.
Yeah, he played at Northwestern, and he was. You ever seen the movie Powder?
No.
Oh, okay. You got to rent that movie. How many of you guys have seen that movie? Okay, yeah, you got to see that movie because the guy is pale white. He has this. He was born from electricity, and so he's like. So this guy was as white as powder. He's bald headed, just like the guy in Powder.
About 6'10".
He's about 6'10".
Jacked.
Yeah, big jack, like muscle dude. You know. So I gave him the nickname Powder. He played at Northwestern. I got to remember his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
But
That's a
Aaron,
great nickname.
no, it was the other guy. It was the Big Ten Player of the Year. The big kid. What's his name?
Jeez, it's right on the tip of my tongue there.
Aaron or something.
Yeah, you're close. Yeah, Aaron. He'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah, we need to look that up.
Yeah.
We'll get our crack research staff on
he
that.
played for Utah.
Yeah.
He was drafted by Utah. Oh man. Trying to tip my tongue. He played with us a lot. He was in our league even in the summer.
Well, you guys research that. I'm going to tell you about one of our great sponsors. It's not Andy, but he's going to get a chance to do his own.
Damn, it's not Andy. It's not
No,
one of our
no,
great
no.
sponsors.
He gets to do
I
his.
told you he
I
had a
thought I was
gig.
the only
He
sponsor.
I told
gets
you
to
had a
do his.
gig.
No. Hey, when it comes to insurance for your auto, home, and business, make sure you contact the king of insurance, our good buddy, nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. You can reach him at jeffvuk.com. That's jeffvuk.com. For all those watching on YouTube, you can see his information on the screen. And last weekend, Stacey tried to pass it over to Tim, and that failed miserably. Stacey, so you gotta show our sponsor how much we care about him.
America. Nationwide is on your side. Woo! The golden pipes, baby, they're back.
A special Thanksgiving shout out to our good friend Jeff Vukovich.
And you know what?
Make sure you contact him for all your insurance needs.
Jeff was at the game a couple of weeks ago, and we're supposed to hook up with him in Arizona. Me and Adam. Yeah, he invited us out for lunch or dinner, whatever is easier for us. And so take it. It's a free. We don't turn nothing down but our collar. So we're gonna take him up on it.
Well, didn't you go see Andy when you were in Miami earlier this year?
Yeah, we saw Andy. We were at what hotel was that? We had dinner at
Fountain Blue.
Fountain Blue.
Nice, yeah.
We out there, big time, baby, big time. I only roll with big spinners, baby. We're not eating a steak and shake,
That's
baby.
right.
I'm on the Fountain Blue, baby. Man, I tell you what, I swear to God, when we were coming in there, I wasn't expecting what I saw in Fountain Blue. First of all, we go into the lobby, and it was like a scene out of Blade. Like all these vampire people dancing and having a good time.
Vampire people.
And I'm sitting there like, where are these people coming? It was a Sunday night, and it was like, I'm thinking, where in the hell are all these people being in this lobby? It was a lobby on a Sunday night. And I swear to God, I was just waiting for Blade to walk in with a leather jacket and a blade and start just cutting people up.
It was jamming with people. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole entry was jamming.
You couldn't even walk.
It was Stacey's first Uber.
Yeah, I was no lift.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lyft.
Yeah, Tim got me a
And
lift.
a Tesla.
A Tesla lift.
Yeah,
Okay?
you talked about that on one of the previous shows.
He brought me. He said a Tesla will be there to pick you up. First time I ever rode in a Tesla.
And you were surprised there was actually some leg room for you.
Yeah, it was leg room.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised because the driver, because I said, hey, is this one of these cars that can drive by itself? And the guy goes, yeah, you want to see it? I'm like, oh, hell no. No, you ain't doing it here, bro. It just jumped out the car and let the car drive by itself. I'm like, nah,
just
bro.
type in where you want to go. It'll work just fine.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But they had a big screen. They had a big computer screen. I mean, it was really cool. I'd never been in one before. It was really, really cool.
Hey, Whispers, you were trying to figure out that guy who was an all Big Ten player. Our guy Matt types in Larry Bird. Like Larry Bird went to Northwestern.
Wow. Wow.
There was a Larry Bird, but he didn't play well.
No, all right.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Williams?
No.
Nope.
And they're still trying to figure it out. Anybody who can come up with that and put it in the live chat, we'll send you a bottle of hot sauce. How about that? We'll challenge our listeners to come up with that. So you're talking about late 80s Big Ten Player of the Year? Something like that?
90s.
90s, yeah, right, because you were playing with the Bulls already.
Eschmeyer.
Evan
Evan
Eschmeyer.
Eschmeyer.
There you go.
Eschmeyer.
Sorry you lost your hot sauce,
You
folks.
lost the hot
You
sauce.
snooze, you
I mean,
lose.
listen, I'm keeping my own bottle. I get to keep it, baby.
He was the original guy that played like 6 years at Northwestern. He stayed there forever.
Eschmeyer. I knew it.
Yeah, and he played with the Nets.
Evan
Yeah.
Eschmeyer.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah. He
came
was an
out-
okay player.
He came out to play, and then the other guy, Powder. I got to find it. His name was Dan. Dan something. That's all I remember.
Dan Powder.
Dan Bird.
No. He played on Northwestern's team too with Evan. He was the backup.
Okay.
And his name was Dan something. So look back like whenever Eschmeyer
And
was
the guy
in
was
Northwestern.
electric. He really was.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, let's talk about the Bulls a little bit. They're coming off a really good win, beating the Boston Celtics for the second time this year. And Stacey, they really controlled the game. I was impressed by how they came out on the defensive end. Everyone's wondering how was Zach going to come out after having, his comments about being taken out of the game. He showed on the defensive end that he meant business in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they came out totally different in the first quarter than they'd come out in the last few weeks. They came out and really buckled down defensively. They got after Boston. It was like they took the challenge. They understood that if they came out and played the way they've been playing, Boston's going to beat them by 30. And you got to remember, Boston came in with a 9-game win streak. They're the hottest team in the league. They were 13-3. Looked like they were unbeatable. And then, this is the second time in 3 games we've beaten them. We should have beat them in Boston. Yeah. So this is a team, I think, you can't really judge it right now during the regular season, but this is a team when people say, oh, the Celtics are so good, we can beat them. This team can beat that team. We match up very, very well with them as far as personnel is concerned. Now, you got to remember, Robert Williams is not there. Their shot blocker, he adds a different dimension. Al Horford is playing way too many minutes right now. You could tell he just looked really, really tired out there last night, getting out, closing out to shooters, and guys are blowing right by him. They got Vooch involved in the paint, and I said it last night, people need to cut Zach some slack. Everybody, he had a bad game, 1-14, $200 million man, blah, blah, blah. Great players have bad games all the time. He's entitled to have a bad game. Okay, maybe the way he handled the benching per se from Billy was not the way he probably should have handled. And I guarantee you when it was all said and done, because this game is an emotional game. So after a game, you're still charged. It takes you hours to come down, So maybe he was still upset about that. Now, if he would have just probably taken some time and not addressed that issue and just say, listen, he's the coach. He felt like the group that was out there playing better than, me at the time. I'm about winning. And that would have went over. Then people would have said, well, he doesn't care. They would have made some kind of excuse, no matter what he said. So he can't win for losing. So I get where he's coming from. He's a competitor. He wanted to be out there. That was his worst shooting night of his career. Not the season, but his career. So cut the guy some slack. He's coming off knee surgery. The guy played hurt last year throughout the whole season. He's probably should have rested during the training camp. They're lucky that he's even playing right now. So cut the guy some slack and let him play.
And Billy wasn't upset about it. He understood Zach is the ultimate competitor, 2-time All-Star, coming off that max contract. He wanted to be in the game. They let that game get away with Orlando. If Vooch makes those free throws, it's not even a story.
Well, let's just put it this way. It shouldn't have even came down to 2 free throws.
Right.
The Bulls were clearly a better team. They should have put that team away because that's a team you say you come out in that first quarter and you say let's punch him in the mouth and let's send a message to him so that this is going to be a long night for you. But as long as you let that team hang around, the game is close. Any of these teams that have a lot of youth, a lot of young players, if you let them hang around for 2 quarters, 3 quarters, they start to get confident. They start to believe that they can win. And this is a team that feels like they can beat the Bulls. I mean, they beat them there last year in Orlando, and they act like they won the championship. Guys are, doing Orlando on the chest and all that crap, Jalen Suggs. And listen, I didn't like what Jalen Suggs did in Orlando last year when he was showing up the Bulls when they were winning. But I'll give that kid some credit. He is a hell of a player. Yeah. That was a big freaking shot he hit at the end of the game. You're down 2. You come down, you go by your man, you fall down, and then you step back, and then you hit a 3 for a game winner and fall on the ground trying to draw a foul. Didn't get it, but he nails that shot. That kid plays both ways. That team is going to be a team in a couple of years. They're going to have to make some decisions with that team because they got so much talent on that team. You can't play everybody. So Bol is the real deal, okay? For all the people who didn't see Bol at the Windy City Bulls and thought he was a fluke, he is the same player that everyone is tanking the season who want to tank to get the kid from France. What is his name, Mark?
Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
We're going with Webby, remember?
Okay, yeah, Webby. So the same skill set. The same skill set. Can handle the ball, can shoot it, can block shots. No one's talking about that. The kid's 7'2". The last 5 or 6 games, he's averaged almost 18 points, 10 rebounds, shooting a high percentage from the field. He can make threes. Basically the same player. And
I'll tell you what, though, I called some of his games with the Windy City Bulls. He wasn't like that 3 years ago. He has improved. So
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Mark. Okay, about NBA. and you've been around the game. If it's all about developmental,
right?
Okay, and this game is about confidence. You put a kid out there and you say, hey, I'm gonna let you play 40 minutes. I don't care if you make mistakes, just go out there and play. Watch how that kid develops. Watch how that kid goes from a guy who may struggle early but have confidence at the end. You look at Patrick Williams right now. Patrick Williams over the last 2.5, 3 weeks has played at a different level offensively. He's become aggressive. He's taking shots. He's going to the basket. He's playing with a lot of confidence. It's all about developing guys. Look at Lauri Markkanen. He leaves here. All the players that have left here have gone somewhere else, and they find coaches that will develop them and their skill set they already had before they went to these places. They just needed somebody to believe in them, and that's what you look at Lauri. He's going to be one of probably the most improved player this year.
Yeah, he's got a good chance to make the All-Star team right now. Utah with the best record in the West. There's like 8 or 9 teams that are bunched up within 2 games. We'll talk a little more NBA coming up. But getting back to the Celtics game, I thought one of the big reasons that they were able to win that is both Patrick Williams and Ayo were much more aggressive right from the jump. They didn't hesitate when they had their scoring opportunities. And I think they kind of sent a message that not only are we going to defend against Tatum and Brown, but we're going to contribute on the offensive end too.
Well, I mean, they got a tough assignment. I mean,
right.
Because they're clearly the 2 best defensive players in that group of that starting 5. And so you're asking both of those young players to guard the best players every night. You're asking Ayo to take Jaylen Brown, who's 6'7" and is a small forward. You're telling Patrick Williams every single night you're guarding the best player. So now what needs to be done is the 3 best offensive players now have to be accountable for their play defensively, because Patrick Williams can't guard everybody. Ayo can't guard everybody. So, you've got to start, Vooch has got to be better defensively. Zach's got to be better, which I thought they were better defensively yesterday.
Big 6-game road trip coming up. It starts out with a drive up I-94 to Milwaukee, then a game in Oklahoma City, and then you got 4 on the West Coast. So this is going to be a really challenge to see if the Bulls can win 3 or 4 of those games and not lose sight of everybody else in front of them in the East.
Well, and you're playing a Milwaukee team that thinks they have the Bulls' number, and so this will be an opportunity for the Bulls to come in. They had a huge win against Boston. He had some confidence going into Milwaukee. They proved they can win in Milwaukee. So the key for them is to not let Giannis run them all over tomorrow and let them, take advantage of getting to the foul line and finding open shooters. They're going to have to make him a perimeter player, keep him out of paint. It's a lot easier said than done. But at the same time, no turnovers. You can't turn the ball over. You can't have 14, 15 turnovers in the first half. If you do that, it's going to be a long night for you. So if they can take care of the basketball, move the ball. The thing I thought they did well against Boston last night, one, they established Vooch in the paint. They went into him. They ran plays for him, and I think he was 4-4, 4-5 from inside the paint, and that made a huge difference.
He only took 7 shots in the game.
Yeah, but like 4 or 5 of them were in the paint.
Yeah.
So that was huge. And when he does that, and I made a comment the other day about it, and I think he heard me, is that when Vooch catches the ball in the paint, he always tends to face up before he makes a move. And I was saying, because depending on who you're guarding, if you're a big guy who has the advantage on a smaller guy, you don't need to face up, because what you're doing now is you're alerting the defenders that the defender needs help. But if you catch the ball, you recognize small guy on you and go quick, 1 or 2 dribbles to the rim, left hand, right hand, that's a bucket or a foul. Once you face up, you take yourself from being 8 feet away from the rim to now 10, 12, 14 feet away. Now the double team can come and get the ball out of your hands, and now you've taken the advantage that you had in the post away.
One of the big storylines around the NBA so far in this season, the first month of the year, has been injuries. I put together a little list of guys who are out right now. LeBron James, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Maxey, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. I mean, it's crazy. You go around the league, and John Morant was out too, but I guess he's going to come back and play tonight. Speaking of injuries, the 3 Philadelphia Stars all out today. They beat the Brooklyn Nets tonight. And
Wow.
that was the return of Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons almost had a triple-double, all modest, like numbers around 10. But, they were coming in there thinking they were going to whip up on this depleted Philadelphia team, and Philadelphia beat them.
Well, I mean, these guys that were there tonight play with a lot of confidence. Yeah. You still got Tobias Harris, who's a very good player. You've got all these other guys who come off the bench. Kork Maz. You got the kid that shoots the threes that came from Iowa State.
Niang. Yeah, DeAnthony Melton.
Melton. All these guys, they got guys that are very capable of winning games. Of course, you need those guys, those superstar players. But Brooklyn. Did Kyrie come back?
Kyrie played. Yeah. in that game, Melton had 22 points, Tobias Harris had 24, and they got 16 from Niang, 19 from Paul Reed, the kid from DePaul.
Yeah. So look,
they're all professionals, right?
All the names that I said are guys who can contribute. They play a role when you have James Harden and Embiid there, and then given the chance to be in the spotlight, those guys shine. And they probably had more ball movement. It'd be interesting to see how many assists they had. But I guarantee you the ball was moving. It was popping around the horn. Guys got a lot of wide open jumpers. And, Brooklyn having Kyrie back, because I didn't watch the game. So I can only imagine, what that game was like having Kyrie back, because now Brooklyn had been playing pretty good without Kyrie.
Right.
And now you add him back in the game, and it's kind of like, oh, well, now the whole thing changes. He needs the ball in his hands, and that kind of changes things.
Interesting comments from Eric Spoelstra. He was talking about the fact that Miami's got like 6 or 7 guys of the rotation that are out right now, and he said, I just don't understand why guys have to sit out games. He goes, I understand if you're banged up, but instead of playing 30, give me 15 minutes. If you play 15, give me 8. Give me what you got. Instead, he's got 7 guys sitting there in street clothes.
America. This is a topic I don't like to talk about. I don't like to talk about people's toughness. I came up in the era where, like I said, I seen Bill Cartwright, John Paxson have knee surgery on Monday, had their knee scoped on Monday. They were playing on Wednesday. Okay, this is Clint Eastwood tough. Okay, tough as leather, beef jerky tough. Okay, the guys now, you get your knee scoped on a Monday now, you might be out 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
It's a totally different thing. They always side on the era of, well, we got to protect the player and
get a grade 1 spray and put it in a boot.
Yeah, guys just didn't miss games.
Yeah.
Guys didn't miss games, and you felt, especially when you were on good teams, Mark, how could I miss a game if Michael Jordan is not missing? Michael Jordan's getting the crap beat out of him every night. The defense was way worse than what these guys. I mean, what's flagrant fouls now in this day and age was regular fouls. So imagine someone clotheslining you, which is a flagrant one. That was a regular foul back in the 90s. And guys were doing Michael that way, but he never missed games. I seen the guy get a second-degree sprained ankle at halftime, come back out. We think he's done. The crowd's cheering because he's out. We're in Atlanta. Crowd's cheering that he's out the game. He comes back out, at halftime, and we all were sitting in at halftime, didn't think he was coming back. His ankle swole all up, it was purple.
With the smoke.
So we're coming back out, and they're playing the Superman theme, okay? And then it was supposed to be for Harry the Hawk. He was going to come out in the Superman outfit, the mascot for the Hawks, so he was going to come out through the dry ice. So they're playing the Superman theme while we're out warming up, and then all of a sudden MJ comes walking out of the smoke. It was like something out of a movie. And then he went ahead and scored like 50 plus points in that game, and we ended up beating Atlanta. And it was the craziest thing that we'd ever seen. And then he came back the next day in practice. He didn't sit out of practice. He came back the next day in practice.
Yeah.
So guys are built differently.
Guys
are built differently.
No question about it.
Even Devin Booker's hurt now.
Is he?
He broke up with Kendall Jenner.
Wow.
That should help his overall performance, I would think.
Well, the good thing is not a Kardashian,
like
so his numbers didn't suffer.
Ben Simmons, by the way, had 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. It's nice to see that he's playing better. I mean, you hate to see the guy's career end. People were talking like he'd never be able to play again. He's like 25, 26 years old. I mean, it made no sense. 26 years old.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. I mean, listen, you know what? No one knows what goes on in a guy's head, you know. So you don't question a person's, mental health or psyche. You don't know what that guy. Being in Philadelphia and having those people. This is a guy who's used to being loved, used to being people cheering him, and then to have a city, a community. You're out, getting some ice cream with your girlfriend. Simmons, you suck. Like, oh man, I'm like, whoa, bro, I'm just getting some ice cream. You got to hear that kind of stuff. In a place that you call home. And so you don't know how that's affected him. He got a bad rap from everybody, all the national media people talking about him. And, I feel bad for the kid. I just hope he can come back being the Ben Simmons that I know he could be.
We're going to talk more NBA with our special guest coming up, Mike Monaco. You've heard him do a couple of Bulls games with Stacey. Works for ESPN. He does Red Sox games for Nesson.
Eminem.
So we will check in with Mike in just a second. But before we do that, is Mike listening out in the car? Did you get a ride from Windy City tonight?
Yes.
Tell the folks how they can get that great service.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me get my read. Get my read and shout out my boy. Shout out my.
Oh, Whispers.
Okay, Whispers. There might be
throat punch.
Hey, if you hear
Might be
somebody,
Thanksgiving.
if you hear somebody go, Whispers just got throat punched. Okay, American. Shout out to my boy Mike Amaral. I got Mike working extra duties right now.
Oh, no.
Mike is working extra duty because we had a late shoot tonight.
That's right.
Because we have, normally we shoot at a decent hour, but we got a lot of people that, they think we work at a sweatshop here. So we got a lot of people coming in from other jobs and getting here at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we came in tonight because our young Sriracha crew has other jobs. They're making shoes, serving pizzas. So we came in late for them, okay? So Mike is working extra hard this week because he's got to take me here today.
Yeah.
He's driving me to Milwaukee tomorrow night.
Oh, he is? Okay.
To the game.
Yeah.
He's driving me to the game
Nice.
tomorrow night, and he's getting ready. He's going to be there, my bodyguard, so he'll be able to go to the game and watch the game too.
Remember I used to drive to Milwaukee?
Okay, no one's talking to you right now. Okay, so America,
Just like whispers.
yeah, exactly. So then on Thursday,
Just over here sulking.
he's driving me to the airport. Friday's picking me up at 1:30 a.m. And then on Sunday he's taking me. So Mike's gonna be super busy. And then we got, on Saturday, since we come back, we have the day off. He's going out with the Doublemint twins again.
Of course.
Okay. So and he's gonna give them a ride in his SUV.
Give them a ride.
And they'll like it too.
Yeah, okay.
All right, here we go. Windy City Limousine provides a championship service. Making a reservation is so easy, it's a slam dunk. Let Windy City break the full court pressure of traffic and get you to your destination in style and on time. Oh, man, this guy's going to get throat punch for real. Contact us at 847-916-9300 or online at windycitylimos.com and tell them Whisper sent you. You may not get a discount. They may hang up the phone when you say that. But
Or charge you more.
Yeah, they may charge you more. So just say it.
See, the problem with a late evening taping is that Tim's been drinking since 5:30, so we got problems.
This morning.
Yeah, this morning, exactly.
As a-
And it's really funny.
not drinking all day
You know, it's
unless
funny,
you start
Mark.
in
You
the
know, it's funny,
morning,
Mark. Normally he always offers us something.
Yeah.
And we got nothing.
Yeah.
We just got Angel Water Soft. Water bottles right here.
Hey,
This
it's the
is-
best bottled
it's
water in the
bottle-
business right here.
This is the best water you will ever
There you go.
freaking taste.
Yeah.
We're really sucking up here.
Great
right
for
now.
every hangover.
You get this treatment every week. Nicky. It's like this every week.
Yeah, Mark spit the water out one time.
Yeah, I
Oh
did.
my God! Oh, it's terrible. No, this is some great water, America.
There you go. Hey, Mike's in the waiting room. He's next on Give Me the Hot Sauce.
Oh, my son is
Happy
calling me.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, look at my son calling me, America.
Episode 108 of Give Me the Hot Sauce rolls on. It's now our pleasure to welcome in an outstanding young play-by-play guy, Mike Monaco. You've heard him fill in doing some games with Stacey on Bulls television. He also works for ESPN doing a variety of sports, calls Red Sox games on the New England Sports Network. I saw you were doing some hockey as well. You're doing just about everything. Congratulations on all your success, Mike, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you guys having me. Great to be with you. Always good to see Stacey. And whenever I get the call to fill in as a deep down the depth chart guy, I am more than happy to do so on broadcast.
You ain't deep down the depth chart.
What number is
a
that?
lot of fun. It's impossible not to have fun.
Hey, don't feel bad. Stacey had me as number 17 on his list. So,
Oh,
I had to work
First
my
of
way
all.
up to number 4.
First of all, Mike is high on the list.
I
Okay,
know.
his demographic of women. Well, he's got like the teeny bopper girls, like the Hanson, the girls who love Hanson.
Yeah.
He's got that group, and then
Mbop.
he's got the women in the 25 to 35-year-old range. So our numbers go up when Mike comes up because he
Well,
looks
I've got
like
the
one.
over 60 crowd.
Yeah, you got the grandmothers, okay? Yeah, you got the grandmothers that they're playing bingo. But Mike's got. See, they think Mike's a boy band guy.
There you
So when
go.
they see Mike, he got his hair all spiked up.
Yeah.
He got his nice little suit on, and they just wait for him to say, "I want it that way."
So we've got bingo, we've got the younger crowd, and we've got Montana. So
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
everything's
Look at
covered.
Mike.
Montana's
Mike,
locked down.
See, Mike read the magazine. 10 most sexiest man in Montana, the sexiest man in
There you go.
Montana. Okay, he read the magazine. Did you see page 75 where I was riding naked on the Clydesdale?
Special edition.
Woo! Woo!
That's been ripped out of most issues.
Hater in the house, hater alert, hater to the left, hater to the right.
There it
That's a
is.
collector's item.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
Hey, so how do you balance? We talked to Adam Amin and Jason Benetti about it. It's amazing, all the talented young broadcasters out there right now. How do you balance your schedule when you're going from basketball one night, calling a football game, and then doing hockey, which I imagine has got to be the hardest of them all? How do you keep it all straight?
You're absolutely right, Mark, that hockey is the hardest of them all. For me personally, and I would bet for a lot of people too, I don't know what your experience is, but I think a lot of people would say that hockey is the hardest. And it's funny, you mentioned Adam and Jason, like those two guys, and I'm not just saying this, they have been two of, if not the two biggest influences in my career of people I look up to for one, but people who have been exceedingly helpful to me. So I do look to them as a model in a lot of ways, and they're good at whatever sport it is that they're doing on any given night. And I think what's impressive that they do, and what I try to do, and hopefully can do to some extent, is like you make it sound like it's the most important thing going on when that game's going on. But yeah, it's difficult, like, technically bouncing back and forth. I think from baseball to hockey or football, that transition is the hardest for me because baseball's so slow and it's storytelling, and then hockey is so fast, and like there's no time for storytelling. And honestly, doing the NBA games that I've done is similar to that, because it is faster, I find, than college basketball, where like the degree of shot making it just isn't the same. So like in college basketball, you can weave in more storytelling. There's maybe some more dead balls. Like the offense doesn't flow as freely. So it's just different ways of doing a game. And football is even a little bit different from hockey because like it is so structured: play, stoppage, replay, play. Like you get in such a flow over the course of a drive that they all are different, and you just kind of have to find your routine. For me, it's reps. And like when I'm talking to younger announcers, I guess I should say, I try to tell them like it's a comparison to a sport you play. Like if, the basketball player that you're covering, he wants to get better at free throws, like, well, the only way to get better at it is to shoot more free throws, come early to practice, stay later than practice. And I find for me that it's the same way with doing a sport that I'm not as familiar with, say hockey, just getting more reps, and you can hopefully start to improve a little bit.
Guy's 29. He's talking about younger.
Yeah, the younger guy. What are they? 12? You talking to 12-year-olds?
The next generation.
See, the one thing I like about Mike is like, and in this sport, you all have these iconic voices.
Right.
People with these voices that you go 25, 30 years from now, you go, man, that guy, I know that voice from anywhere. He's got a great voice. If you saw him in person, you'd be like, man, that's a booming voice for such a smaller guy, and he's got a great voice. That's one of the things that when I first worked with him, I was like, man, he's got a great voice. This guy's gonna be around a long time. So Mike, tell our listeners a little bit, when you go from say a college game to an NBA game, the preparation that you have to have in doing all these sports, because each one of these sports are so different. They have different personnel. I know in the college game, when I did college game, I thought that was one of the hardest things to do because you have to know where they played high school ball, who their AAU coach was. There's so many details that you got to know at the college level compared to the pro game. So how hard is that for you being the play-by-play guy?
Yeah, well, first of all, Stacey, I appreciate you saying that about the voice. I don't know if I got the pipes of Adam, but I appreciate you saying
Nobody
that.
has the pipes of Adam.
The prep is different from college to NBA and from sport to sport. And, Adam could definitely speak to this really well, like bouncing between a local broadcast. And like I have more experience doing that with the Red Sox compared to a national broadcast, like a national college basketball game. But yeah, like it is different, just NBA versus college even, because like everyone knows who the NBA players are, to some extent. Like I don't need to, like last year, Stacey, you were out for that game, but I did, Bulls Lakers at the UC in December. And like, I don't need to dive too deep on LeBron's background. Like more so I need to dig into like, what have the last 2 weeks been like for LeBron, or from a Bulls perspective, for a Bulls fan tuning into, our broadcast that night, what's been happening that season since they probably last checked in on LeBron, like last time they were in the playoffs, that sort of thing. Whereas I did a college game at Duke yesterday, and, for the opponent was Bellarmine. Like not a lot of people nationally know who Bellarmine is. It's a non-conference game. So like find a couple really good stories on Bellarmine, but like you're still not going to go super deep on, the sixth man on a team that's, projected to lose the game by more than 20 points. Doesn't mean there aren't great stories out there, but the prep is a little bit different. And then just in terms of like trying to get up to speed on the Bulls, like I'm not doing every game. And Mark, like you probably experience this too when you're not calling every single game. Like you do have to find a way to catch yourself up to speed because Bulls fans, like they, first of all, they don't care who I am, but they want someone who's going to sound like they're as invested in it as they are. So like I try to work really hard to be up to speed on everything important that's happening with the team, even if I'm not there calling it every game.
Well, looking into your background, you were born in Massachusetts, and now you're doing the Red Sox games. That's got to be really cool for you. What was it like for you the first time to sit behind that microphone and calling a game at Fenway Park?
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, I've been really lucky the last few seasons to fill in on a number of games for Dave O'Brien, who's a legendary voice in and of himself. But yeah, really cool. Like I grew up a Red Sox fan, you know, dressed up as Nomar Garcia Parra for Halloween one year, had the whole thing, thought I could be an athlete, but as Stacey alluded to, I'm not the tallest guy. So for that and other athletic reasons, my athletic career did not go too far. So yeah, to make it to Fenway somehow anyway was incredible. The first game I filled in on was 2019. And I walked in there and I was really nervous. And I was working in the 3-man booth for that game. Jerry Remy, who has since passed away, you know, God bless him. He was a saint to me. And then Dennis Eckersley, the Hall of Famer, who just retired at the end of this baseball season. And both in their own way, they said to me kind of in different ways, like, hey, you do you. And this is something Stacey said to me in his way too. Like the first game we worked together, like, dude, you do like what your style is and I'll work around it. And that for me was so comforting to hear because, yeah, like I'm the kid that grew up coming to games here and wanting to play here and watching these guys on broadcasts like my whole life to that point. So to be there and call games there is pretty darn cool.
It's funny you say that because talking to Jason Benetti is the same thing. You know, both him and Adam were up for the White Sox job, and Jason's dream job was to work for the White Sox from the time he was able to even think about baseball. So it's great to hear, you know, you are in a similar kind of track that, you know, you grew up following, you know, the Boston Red Sox and then you find yourself doing it. Is there any pressure? Is there pressure being, from Massachusetts to doing the Red Sox game for you?
I think, yeah, because like I've lived it, you know, like I've lived the fandom myself and I know, and it's not dissimilar from Chicago. And I've had a little bit of exposure to Bulls, White Sox, Blackhawks broadcasts, like the fan bases, the cities, like the way they take pride in their teams, like just incredible sports cities. So I think growing up in Boston, like I knew that like you better know everything that is going on with the Red Sox. And like the first games I did were in September. And at the time, like you could expand rosters from at that time, 25 to 40 players. Like you better know about the 40th guy on the roster because like these fans sure do. And then you want to like treat the moment right too. Like if you get a big moment, like you want to document it because it's going to live on like in the history of the team. And so, yeah, I think like, you know, not that I like feel it in game, but like I get chills walking into a famous place like Fenway or like yesterday going into Cameron Indoor Stadium. Like I get chills being there just because of like the understanding of the fandom, I think.
All right, Whispers, what do you got for him?
Oh, man. It's really hard to find stuff on a guy like Mike, a good Catholic boy from Massachusetts. I mean,
Went to Notre Dame, too.
I know. I went through Reddit. I went through Boston Dirty.
Come on now.
Oh, man. Wow.
I called my old boy in Boston, Tony Two Toes. I mean, I came up with nothing. So all I got now, since you said that, the Notre Dame thing, see, all I can say is in the past X years since Andrew and I left Northwestern, at least we're 50-50 on the rivalry. And we're looking forward to the next game, which is not on the schedule yet. But we're hanging in there, man. So
is there a question in there?
No.
Yeah, is there a question? Like he's just rambling.
No.
You're like Kermit
I
Washington.
told you to drink it
He's
since
like
5:30, man.
He's like Kermit Washington was last week.
that's
just
AM.
rambling for like 5 minutes.
Wait,
There's no even a question there.
You didn't let me get there.
Well, when you gonna get there next week?
No, I'm asking Mike.
Christmas?
Can you
Hey,
tell
we got to carve the turkey. What's going on?
Mike, you're the first guest I've had to do this with. Can you tell us something? It's way too clean of an image out there on all the media. So
Some dirt on myself. Is that the prompt?
You could expose something. Come on, give us a little something.
Expose something? What are you doing?
So this is
I'm trying
a
here.
one. I've had some friends like sending me Game of Thrones references. I don't get Game of Thrones references because I've never watched the show. So that currently is a pretty big knock on my character. I feel like
That's some
human.
dirt. That's what I was looking for.
Mike.
Like that is as
Mike.
exciting as you can get in this day and age.
Mike, tell me you're lying. You're too young not to watch Game of Thrones. And all the little naked women that walking through there.
He's too busy.
Oh,
Stacey,
my goodness.
I'm an old soul, man. I'm an old soul.
You just ruined your career.
Are you going to bed at 8:30 if you're not doing a game? Are you past your bedtime tonight? Oh my God! I know we're shooting late.
I'm too busy watching Succession, Sopranos.
Okay.
The Wire.
All right, you're back on the cool list. You said The Wire. Okay, you back on. You got cool points. That was Sopranos.
So I made a list during COVID, like what shows am I going to knock out here? Sopranos was first, then The Wire, and those are my two all-time favorites. Those were both fantastic.
All right,
who's your favorite? You don't interrupt me.
I'll interrupt you later.
You had your chance, buddy. It took you 20 minutes to ask the question. All right, I'm going to ask it. Who's your favorite person on The Sopranos and The Wire?
On The Wire, I would probably say Dookie.
Really?
Yeah, I just like that season for me is the best season of television, period. Like just bringing the kids in that way, like it was just emotional. I don't know, maybe it was because I was all like holed up and no one was doing anything during COVID, but like that one got to me. I thought that was a great season of television. So he would be my favorite there. I would probably say Paulie for The Sopranos.
Paulie Walnuts.
And R.I.P. Tony Sirico.
Yeah.
I was just watching some Sopranos episodes last week, actually. And, man, he's so – you hear what I said?
Hey.
Like, it just kills me every time.
One of the funniest scenes in Sopranos, like one of the earliest, when they killed Mikey and they chased him in through the poison ivy. and Paulie got poison ivy. That was one of the best scenes ever. Oh, my God. I still laugh when I see that scene.
You know the one too, Pine Barrens, like one of the famous ones when they're in the woods, like with all the snow, and they tried to kill that guy, but he's getting away. And they're on the phone with Tony, and he's like, "Hey, be careful! The guy like worked for the Interior Ministry, and he killed like 16 Chechens or something like that." and Tony and Paulie's like, "Guy, you hear? Guy was an interior decorator." And Christopher goes, "His house looked like shit."
Well done. Yeah. Nice
so,
job.
Yeah, I could go on and on about those, but nothing as it relates to Game of Thrones.
The
so,
Wire. I would say two of my favorite characters is Omar. Omar is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I hate to see how he went out at the end. So, if spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, tough luck.
It's too late.
It's been out for 10 years. Okay, and then my second favorite character, they didn't really have a lot of him towards the end. Was what's his name? The last bad guy after Avon. No. Marlo Stansfield. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Marlo Stansfield's the coolest dude. When he took over the block and he had that headband on, he had the golf club, and he was out there ghost swinging with the golf club. And the guy goes, "Hey, what do you need? What do you want?" He said, "I need it for you to take your people and clear out." And he's swinging his golf club, right? There's no guns or nothing. It's just the way he said it. And so it was like, this dude is a bad dude. He's a bad dude. Yes. And then the female, Snoop. I like Snoop too. Because at first I didn't know if Snoop was a girl or a guy at first. And then as the show went on, I'm like, oh, she's a little girl. She's really a good little actress. And she was real. That's her real persona too. She's like that off the show. Yeah. Hey, Mike, you got your cool points back, man.
I will add Prop Joe. Prop Joe. Hilarious throughout that show.
I didn't like the way they got him at the end, though, but it's...
No.
Just close your eyes. It's not going to hurt. Just close your eyes.
I might need to rewatch The Wire now.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, dude. In the beginning of the cops, I like some of the cops, too. I like Jimmy McNulty. McNulty was good. Yep. I like him. Bubbles, the guy that's always running around picking up, trash and,
Well, Bubbles might be my second favorite.
Yeah, but I like Bubbles,
show.
man.
Bubbles is the man.
Bubbles' character evolved all the way up, man. He went from just being a bad guy, trying to cop drugs to he really was a good dude at the end. So it's amazing it's amazing how all those characters evolve. Like Michael went from being a good kid looking out for his family to you can see Michael being the head of an operation.
Yeah. But you could also understand why he turned. And that to me was why that season was so big, and why you cared so much about it. Cause you kind of understood why he felt like that was his only option to go down that path. Yeah. Kima too. Speaking of the cops from early season, Kima was cool.
Well, how about if you ever saw Chris coming down the street with Snoop, you knew he was dead.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
As soon as I saw them, Bodie was like, they said, "Come on, boy, let's get out of here. They're coming." He's like, "I'm not leaving. I'm like, boy, you should have turned and ran." Because if you see Chris coming down the street, it's like the Grim Reaper. You knew you was dead, and they were gonna put you up in a house, and they're gonna put that powder on you, and then put you up in a house and close up and board it up.
Let's get back to something important. Mike, have you ever been in a boy band?
No, I played the drums for a year maybe, and I was horrendous at it. And I think everyone was ready for me to stop creating such a ruckus upstairs in my bedroom.
Oh, but don't feel bad, because we kind of want Tim to stop asking these stupid ass questions.
Well, hey, you just got us going on the wire for 15
That's
minutes.
what I'm saying.
I know.
The wire was educational because everybody likes the wire. You notice that Tim knows nothing about the wire. That's why he was quiet over here. He was over there thinking, what can I ask next? Do you watch porn, Mike?
Well, do you?
Hey, have you seen Kendra Lust? You know we had Kendra Lust as a guest on our show, Mike.
Mike's like, I know. I saw that.
Episode 72. Okay.
I told you, big fan of the show.
Oh, my God.
All right, Mike. So obviously Adam and Jason are taking over Fox. What's your ultimate goal in this business? Who are you going to push to the side at ESPN?
It's funny. I get asked that a lot. Hey, what's your dream job? Or what do you want to do down the road? And I was always that kid growing up. Played every sport, whatever season it was. That's what I was playing. Played 3 sports in high school. So I could never nail you down on what my favorite sport is. So I love doing everything. I will probably have to whittle down some sports. I've already had to kind of cut back on some stuff at ESPN because of that. But I don't know. I mean, I love doing national stuff. I love doing team stuff too, when I've had the chance to do that and fill in. And, if I were ever to do that for a team long-term, full-time, that would be incredible too. But yeah, I mean, I love basketball and I love baseball. And those are the 2 sports I've done the most of. And football and hockey too. I mean, those are an absolute blast. So it's tough to pin myself down on that.
Well, it's pretty incredible. I mean, you and Adam and Jason all between 28 and 35, and you're taking over the broadcasting empire. Congrats on all your success, and we look forward to seeing you at a Bulls game real soon.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys having me.
Stay on the grind, man, because I tell people all the time, this is one of the up-and-coming, most talented kids coming up, man. When I start looking at all these younger guys that are coming up, and I mean, the year that I had him working with me, and he feels in now, but the year we were auditioning guys, I had 17 guys.
I know.
17 guys.
That's why I was 17.
Yeah, Mark was 17.
There we go again.
So
you always come up with that number, and I'm always at the bottom of whatever number you come up with.
No.
Mark, it was 20 a year ago.
No. See what I got to deal with? See, I got to deal with Mike. You know what? But before I was rudely interrupted by Kling and Clang here, I was saying that.
And from both sides.
Exactly, from both sides. Exactly. So what I was saying is that when you go through so many people, and then you just know which ones you click with. And so I was just like, I look at Lisa Byington. I love working on her. Now she's the play-by-play in Milwaukee.
She was 8.
Okay, so whatever. So anyway, and I feel like when I see you guys on TV, I feel like a proud father, basically. Yeah. I feel like these guys, I work with these guys. I've seen these guys work. And it's an honor for me to say I work with these guys before they hit the big time, you know. And so it's really good to see, and to see my friend Mark here. Even though they go to a broom closet to try to find if anybody else wants to do it before they go to Mark. They They asked
Guys walking down the street
They asked
3 hours
the
before the
popcorn
game.
vendor,
Yeah.
"Hey, excuse me, do you think you can
you ever
broadcast
done
the
any
Bulls game?"
play-by-play, son?
Yeah, come on over.
Yeah.
So Mark now is on the list. Now he went from 17. Now he's like in the top 5 now.
They call him number 4.
So when the top 4 guys don't show up, they call Mark. They even just say, "Stacey, you want to do it by yourself?" I'm like, "Nah, give my boy Mark. Give my boy Mark a shot."
It's turned into a Thanksgiving roast all of a sudden. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, Stacey, you know how I feel about you. You welcome me from the beginning, and I don't think I've laughed harder working with someone than when we were BSing during preseason games last year or whatever it was. So I appreciate you saying that, and thanks, guys, for having me on.
Mike, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Continued success. Episode 108, Give Me the Hot Sauce rolls on. We're going to talk about some
that away.
Thanks, number 4.
Way to go, baby.
some Thanksgiving traditions when we come back.
Bye, bye, bye.
Episode 108 to Give Me the Hot Sauce rolls on, and during that entire segment with Mike, I was sending emails to ESPN saying we need more of Mike so I get more Bulls games. Got to make sure he works. You got to work.
I knew there was
Get him some more work.
Yeah,
get him some more work at ESPN.
That's the
Come
guy
on, number 4 from number 17. Let's do this.
How about Mike going to his car and then you got Mike Mike trying to get in his car, and then Mark sneaks over with a potato sack and takes him out. Oh, I got more games. Thanks, Mike. It's like, I think that's Mark who hit me in the head. No, it wasn't me. I was at the Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast. Wasn't me.
I checked the schedule for December. I know where he's going to be, so we'll be all right. Hey, speaking of know where we're going to be, Thanksgiving coming up. We're going to talk about some of our favorite dishes and holiday traditions in a little bit. But first, we got to touch on Justin Fields. He's played so well in the last month and a half, and unfortunately, crazy play call in that last series, having him run the quarterback keeper, and he gets hurt. Now it's a left shoulder injury. We'll find out. We're taping on Tuesday. We'll probably find out tomorrow exactly the extent of the injury. There were reports that it was a dislocated shoulder, and another report said it wasn't, and they're saying he might play on Sunday. So we don't know for sure what's going on, but you got to be careful with what you do with a running quarterback, Stacey.
He should never be running a draw.
Yeah.
Everything should be on the outside, the perimeter. Step it up through lanes, taking off. But to sit up there and do them like they do Lamar Jackson, let's just run a quarterback draw against NFL players that weigh 350 pounds. It's just not a smart idea.
Well, there were so many plays in that game where he was scrambling for his life, changing directions, going 10 yards this way, 15 yards this way, and then throwing on the run.
Sandlot football, baby.
Yeah.
Sandlot football. What's that movie with Any Given Sunday with Willie Beeman?
Right.
All right, just act like you're playing in the backyard, Willie. And then just throw it to the park car and then run to your right and just swing it. That's what they tell him. He's playing Any Given Sunday. He's Willie Beeman, until they get a better offensive line and a running game that's solid that can take some pressure off him.
The receivers that are open.
And the receivers that are open. Because it's almost like, I'm still waiting for Claypool to do something. Mooney's got to be more consistent. And, Komet is turning out to be a pretty good tight end.
That catch he made, that one-handed snag.
He's turning out to be like these Gronks and Kelley type tight ends. And so that's going to be a weapon in the future that they'll be able to utilize. Now they got to get some guys on the outside that can stretch the field. You got to get some underneath guys that can an Antonio Brown type of player, not with that attitude, but Antonio Brown type of guy that can play the slot receiver, can get out, 5-7 yard, little routes, come in, curl routes, catch it, and then have the potential to make it a 60-yard touchdown. They need some of those guys.
And this kid is their future. If there's any question about whether or not they're putting him in harm's way to play, let him sit. There's no sense in, they're 3-8 now. Really, they're looking for a draft pick more than anything. Let Trevor Siemian play the next couple of weeks until the kid feels like he's close to 100%.
Oh, Mark, America. That's a tough question. That's tough because if it's a separation, shut him down.
Yeah.
If it's a bruised shoulder and he can show that he can throw, is it his non-throwing shoulder?
It is.
Okay, well, then that's a different story then. But from knowing this kid, he's going to want to play. If it's a separated shoulder, you got to shut him down. You don't want to have anywhere he has to have surgery and then miss half of the summer and the summer OTF. Then you can't do all that stuff. Right. So you just the OTAs. You got to make sure he's healthy going into next year. They really have got to get linemen that can block for a mobile quarterback. They got to do like kind of what Baltimore's done with their offensive line, playing with Lamar Jackson, getting athletic, guards and tackles that can move and, not just stay stationary, but can actually move. And when the quarterback's rolling out, they can roll out with them and protect them. They got to get more athletic on the offensive line. If they can do that, this summer. They're going to be a fun team to watch.
You can't trust a Northwestern guy anyhow. You know how that goes.
You were waiting all that time. I knew there was something you were going to say.
This guy was waiting for an opportunity to jump in the conversation.
I was waiting for you guys to say, that's right.
Yeah, the America,
just like Yellowstone.
America,
that's right.
America. This is why we have a off button. But our D guy up there, our main guy who cuts people off, was not paying attention when Tim talked. So D, you got to pay attention over there, man. When because Tim's gonna say something crazy, we got to block him off. Yeah.
Big weekend of college football coming up. We got the battle of unbeatens in the Big Ten, Michigan
Oklahoma,
and Ohio
baby.
State. And I was going to mention that. Your Sooners got a big win in Bedlam.
Baby. Baby, we're back.
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how about all the
6
Sooners?
touchdowns.
How about all the Sooner players?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, USC. All these guys were quarterbacks in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And when they left, it's kind of like Larry Morgan. It's like what he's doing in Cleveland. Like, they leave and they go from one program to another. But my Sooners, listen, I'm not back on the Sooner bandwagon, America. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm just happy the Sooners won. Whoever went to Oklahoma, I'm glad your team won. Okay? My team right now is the number one team, the Dogs. Georgia Bulldogs. That's where I went to school. Okay? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I was thinking about you when I saw it. Spencer Rattler threw for 6 TDs and Caleb Williams threw for 5. And Williams is going to win the Heisman. USC's only got 1 loss now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that Tennessee guy hurt his knee.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out for the year.
ACL.
So the only thing, like that was a big game, that UCLA game for Caleb Williams. Now, what they do in the Pac-10 championship, I don't know who they'll play. I don't know if it's Oregon or Utah. I don't know who it'll be. But
yeah, it just depends on how this weekend's games turn out.
If he does really well there, he might win the Heisman. He almost threw 500 yards against UCLA.
I was watching some of that game Saturday night. That was fun.
Yeah.
They're going back and forth. Was like 48-45.
Yeah.
And USC's defense is awful.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
they just have to outscore
They
teams.
can score with anybody in the country. For them to win, they almost, against like a Georgia, against any other top team in the SEC, they're going to have to put up 50+ to win. And that may not even be enough.
Hey, our buddy Kenny Kim is on the chat now. He says, how about them Illini? Well, they almost beat Michigan, but now they're going to play Northwestern in the big rivalry, Tim.
And you know how that goes.
Usually.
It's always an upset. Northwestern plays up.
No one cares about Northwestern. They suck.
That's true. But they like to play up.
Trash.
Yeah.
TR.
Just ask our guy Mike
I
Monaco
was going to
about
book
that.
Pat Fitzgerald for next week, but I guess that's out the window.
Well, listen, I'm sorry. It's true. Okay? He's the safest coach in America.
Yeah, he is.
That guy will never get fired.
Yeah.
His team will be 3-12. He'll still keep a job. He ain't going nowhere.
Wow.
Hey, I'm sorry. It's true.
Oh, Kenny just said, sorry, I meant the basketball team.
Oh,
Basketball team looking good. They beat
looked
UCLA.
Yeah. They beat UCLA, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's a different coaching deal.
The transfer from Terrence Shannon from
And
Texas.
I coached his father, Terrence
Is that
Shannon.
right?
I coached
Wow.
Terrence Shannon
He's a
Sr.
good player.
When I was in Rockford, he played for me as a rookie. Dad was unbelievable athlete. Could
Chris
jump
Collins'
out the gym,
father
6'8".
coached you, right?
No, Chris Collins' dad didn't coach me. He got fired. He drafted me, and Doug got fired when I came in. Yeah. Doug, I wish Doug would.
Let's try to tie the tree together.
I wish Doug would have cancer. I'm just saying, Because I told you the best defense I saw was Phil Jackson. That's the only person guard me.
So, Whispers, what do you think is the best rivalry in college football?
Boy, it keeps changing year to year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I still love the Iron Bowl. I mean, it's yeah.
That doesn't mean anything this year, unfortunately.
I know, but that was always like the one you had to watch the past decade, I would say.
No!
Yeah.
I know, Mr. Red River.
OU Texas is the biggest rivalry. OU Texas weekend. Oh, I don't know if you guys ever been down there for the weekend. Oh, Lord have mercy. Forget the game. No one's going to the game.
I think I know where this is going.
It's what goes on.
He's always talking
why
about
the
off the
game is
field
going.
stuff.
Yeah, this is
That's
off
the
the field.
problem.
I tell you, I've been to 2 my whole lifetime because normally that's during basketball time, And so I was interviewing an agent my senior year. I went down there. Is the NCAA, is this still legal? I had some nice benefits when I was down there. Oh man. Whew, I felt like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour 2 when he went to the massage parlor. Says I'll take her and her and her. That was kind of like my Chris Tucker moment. I said I'll take her and her and her and her too.
God, who do you think you are, Bob Kraft?
And she'll like it too.
All right, Bob Kraft.
Hey,
Bob
Whispers,
Kraft was Stacey.
a lot of people in the chat are wondering where Christopher Walken is for the holiday. It's time for him to talk about the hot sauce.
Are we talking about recipes now?
Whatever you want to do, Chris.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I mean, when you're talking about spicing up your holidays and you're adding a little sauce to your dishes, well, look no further than give me the hot sauce. I mean, we got it all. I mean, I don't care if it's one of them cheesecakes from last week, them spicy little numbers, like the girl that brought them in. Hey, don't laugh. She was nice. She's probably listening, and feel free to
Maureen
give up.
Kelley, line 2. Maureen Kelley, line 2.
I don't know.
And
who
her
you're
attorney.
She's nice too. So, anyhow, visit GimmeTheHotSauce.com. Use King21 to get 20% off your first order, and you'll have it in time for the holidays if you move quickly. If you don't, tough shit.
Hey, it's all up to that hot sauce packer, Tim Kelley, to get that stuff out for the holidays.
I told you last week, I don't even like that guy. He does a terrible job. Last bottles in my house were broken. I think he was playing a joke on me.
Package with love. GimmeTheHotSauce.com for all your holiday needs. We want to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving coming up. Obviously, everybody has their favorite dishes, their favorite traditions going on. Let's start with Stacey. What do you got? What kind of dishes are your favorite for Thanksgiving holiday?
You know, I switched to the fried turkey. The fried turkey is the move, man. Okay, stuffing with the gravy and the pecan pie. I'm also a ham guy. You know, before the fried turkey, it was always ham. Like, because I got, my mom would stretch out a turkey for 2 weeks. You know, you grew up in that kind of household. You know, it'd go 2 weeks: turkey sandwiches, turkey jerky, turkey soup. You know, you'd have turkey in your lunchbox, and you try to make a trade for a ding dong or something. Say, I'll give you this turkey sandwich for the ding dong.
Turkey pudding.
Nobody wants that.
turkey,
Keep the turkey. Nobody wants that. So I'd come home and say, Mom, when are we going to eat turkey every day? Because we're not throwing anything away. Like, oh, wow, okay. I was like, okay. So, yeah, I'm not a big turkey fan. I like the dark meat on the turkey. But the fried turkey, if you never had a fried turkey. Mark, you ever had a fried turkey?
Yes.
Okay, how about you, Tim?
Yeah, I've had one.
Okay. I don't know if you ever, listen, I tried one year. I normally have people make it. I tried one year. I almost caught the King household on fire, baby. Oh, Lord,
Burn it
baby.
all down.
Dangerous.
Oh, Lord, it's dangerous. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it
Every
is.
year they put a
hey,
thing
Burn
out.
down the house.
Let me tell you something. It was the King almost caught on fire, baby. I was like, oh, never again. Never again. That peanut oil, that the hot, oh my God.
Now that's a fire.
That's a fire. Man, I said I will never do that again. Never did.
So do you have to postpone Thanksgiving now since you're traveling on the holiday?
No, you know what? I'm coming over to Whisper's house. He didn't invite me, but I'm inviting myself.
Yeah, kind of door.
I'm just gonna show up over to Tim's house.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Feel free.
Because normally when he has some kind of get together food, he expects me to serve. He says, "Hey, do you got a pair of gloves and a tuxedo?" And I'm like, "Why?" Because we need you to serve hors d'oeuvres on the boat.
Well, he gets always hot, so I use the tuxedo T-shirt.
So I'm gonna pop up over the Kelley household, and I'm gonna have dinner over there. I'll be like a raisin in a bowl of cream of wheat. I'll be the only black person over there, but I'm looking forward to
That's
it.
all right.
So you're gonna make your turkey on the Traeger grill or
Oh, you know it.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
smoke it?
Smoke it. I got to cut it into small pieces, but it'll be all right. It's a 58-pounder. I got to cut it down.
What?
Oh, yeah.
58 pounds.
Yeah, you could have ridden this thing before I killed it.
It was an ostrich.
Why did you get a turkey that big? How many people are you trying to feed?
There's a lot, because I knew Stacey would stop by.
And you're going to be sending him sandwiches for the next month, right?
That's right, and turkey pudding.
Ooh,
Just like Whisper.
It's delicious.
that's nasty.
So what do you got on your list of favorites, Whispers?
Oh, man, it's not about the favorites. It's about the bad dishes. And I know I brought this
Beer.
up before.
What a shock that Whispers has
Oh,
a
beer
beer
is
on there.
definitely one of my favorites. And rutabaga. Not because it tastes good. It's good for you.
What is rutabaga?
What is rutabaga? It's like a
Yeah, I never heard of
It's
that.
basically a root.
Root of
you're
what?
eating. It's a rutabaga. I don't know if you saw
Oh,
the
that
screen.
clears it up.
Yeah.
Well, I just tried to help out here.
You like rutabaga?
Well, potatoes are root as well. This is just another type of, that kind of root.
Is that what you're serving at the Kelley household? Rutabaga?
We usually throw some out there and some other things, but it's the. Are we getting to the bad dishes yet?
I don't know. Do we have bad dishes for
Are we doing
Whispers?
those or no?
I think we did that last year.
Yeah, the canned green beans though. That BS.
Yeah.
Who in the hell eats canned green beans?
Excuse me, Whispers.
Oh my!
I told you. Campbell's made that up to get rid of that damn soup.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's true. They did.
It's a casserole made with the green beans,
Yeah.
cream of mushroom soup,
But you've had that, right?
Toasted onions, yeah.
Onion rings on.
But everything is pre-made. That's a bunch of crap. I mean, you just
still-
throw it all in a bowl
it's
and
like
throw some
anything else. You gotta
Crispies
cook.
on top, and you warm it up, and you call it a meal. Oh man,
I feel you on that.
It's a side dish.
it's
That's the dish that nobody eating. Like when it's time to leave, anybody want this green bean salad casserole? Oh no, we got enough.
You're breaking my daughter's heart. That's
That's her favorite.
Yeah.
no, it's not that it tastes bad. It's just what it is.
Yes, it tastes bad. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
like fruit roll-ups.
See, there's certain people
They
know how to
taste
make
good.
that kind of stuff.
Well, when I go to my daughter's house for lunch on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna tell her that you guys ran down the green bean casserole.
you know what,
Sorry.
Brooke, just don't make it.
Don't do
Don't
it
make
this
it.
year.
Just don't do it this year. Take the year off, Brooke.
Make
Take the year
Brussels
off.
sprouts.
Oh, I tell you what though. No, I take that back. When you get those, like you go to like Smith and Ilnyckyi, and you get those like those bacon Brussels sprouts with the
Lots of bacon though.
Lots of bacon.
Lord have
Don't want to
mercy.
taste the Brussels
Lots
sprouts.
of balsamic.
Unbelievable.
What about traditions? You know, I found that one of the best things that I enjoyed doing was coming home during college years. Everybody would come home on that Wednesday and just pack the bar. It was like one of the most fun nights out.
Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were great times. You know, people coming back in from out of state, no one had anywhere to go. Those were crazy times. And then the next morning you wake up and you play football. It's supposed to be tag. It always turns into tackle. It's amazing people didn't just get destroyed.
I tell you, I came back from college one year and we did naked jello wrestling with some girls from my high school. That was some fun times. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the wrong show. I'm sorry, America. I slipped. We were talking about traditions. I'm sorry, we might have to edit that one out. I'm sorry, America.
Wait till that end for you guys.
It was great.
Because tomorrow's Wednesday.
Well, hey, I'm telling you, it was lime jello. That's all I'm doing. Hey, woo, Lord.
Because
Lord
about
have
three.
mercy.
That's the best thing to do with Jello too. You don't want to eat
yes. Oh, you know, I mean, you can eat it while you're down there wrestling with a nice, beautiful one. You know, just eat it off of her. I was just saying, get her with a little Miracle Whip.
Was that in Oklahoma or Georgia?
It was Oklahoma, boy. Oklahoma, boy. That's what, it's a good old time. I can write a book of some of the things I experienced.
Things Stacey's thankful for.
He's not sweating anymore.
No, it's
cool
man.
enough.
America. I'm telling you, Jello wrestling with some hot. No, don't even get me started.
Another Thanksgiving tradition.
I'm so
destroyed
thankful
here
for
on
Jello
Give Me the Hot
wrestling.
Sauce.
Was that cranberry jello?
Hey, before we get out of here, we want to do something
Shut
right.
the hell up.
We want to have Andy actually do the read for Angel Water.
That's
You
what
know,
we do.
and
Cheap
You're
little eggs.
going to see when you try. Do you have it in front of you?
I do.
You're going to see why it's such a problem, because we need you to get us some snappy copy that we can read that really gets some people excited about getting their water tested.
Yeah.
First of all, read what's in front of you, and then give some suggestions on how we could spruce it up a little.
Well, Angel Water, the source of Stacey King's
Wait a minute, hold up.
The source of Stacey King's Jello.
Wait a minute. Read the ad. Read.
That's how you make your Jello is with Angel Water. What are you talking about?
No, I want you to read what they tell you to read here. Go ahead.
All right. There's a lot of nasty shit in Chicago area water.
Who wrote
That's
that?
why we only drink Angel Water here at the Hot Sauce Studios. They are They are the healthiest water around.
Some bad
As they
grammar there. Who wrote
Even
that,
come
New
around.
Whispers?
Who wrote
I
this?
didn't.
Who wrote
To your
Tim?
home and
Tim
test your
did?
water for free.
That's
you
some
heard
high
it right
quality
here.
H2O.
For free. They will come and give you a free assessment of your how healthy your water really is. Stay hydrated all year long with water you can trust. Angel Water.
Who wrote this?
You got your $25 worth, is what
Oh
we're saying.
my
I think.
His lawyer already called me for the refund.
You didn't even
It
get the
should
phone
just
number
say,
in there.
do you trust municipal water? You trust the city? If not, call Angel Water.
Exactly.
How about that?
See, that's what I like right there. Short and sweet to the point. Yeah, because this thing that Tim wrote is.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Yeah, you wrote this. Yeah, there's a lot of nasty shit.
Well, I wrote that.
This is all Tim right here. This is all Tim, America.
Yeah.
Timmy Whispers strikes again.
Get the toxins out of your water.
Yeah. Call Angel Water.
We have
No,
to
seriously.
put headphones on Snoop to protect
Yeah,
it from having
seriously, America. Hey, call Angel Water. Seriously, all jokes aside.
Hey, Snoop uses Angel.
Listen. We all jokes aside. I mean, we joke about Andy.
30 years of abuse.
They're
Okay.
even more than that, I think.
I mean, Andy actually is this
and
tall.
I still call Stacey a friend.
Andy actually
I
is
don't
this
know.
tall right here. You know, he's about as tall as this little.
Hey,
But hey, listen.
Hey,
but
hold
listen. Listen, America. He does have great water. He has great service. Call him up. He'll give you a discount. I don't know how much it would be. I don't know.
Just don't mention Stacey on the show.
You mentioned Stacey, we charge you more.
Wow. America, you hear this?
It's
30
like
years of
Windy
abuse. 30 years of abuse.
Yeah, give Angel Water a call, 847-382-7800. Give him a call.
Or 382 Nasty Water.
The information is on your screen. So we're excited about Thanksgiving coming up. I've got to drive to Milwaukee. Like I said, I'm going to have lunch and then head to the airport. One of the guys on the chat mentioned that I've got Adam Amin locked up in a closet somewhere. So I'll be doing the game on Friday, flying out on Thursday. Looking forward to working with Stacey on that. See all the tributes to him down in Oklahoma City. That'll be a lot of fun.
You know I'm as big as the governor down there.
That's right.
So when I get, you'll see, Mark. You'll see how big I actually am in Oklahoma. We'll get on the plane. We'll get off the plane, and then there'll be an escort to the hotel.
Marching band?
No, it's too cold for marching band. But you may see Hooter girls.
All right. Jello wrestling?
Just saying. No, I'm too old for Jello wrestling right now. Hey, come on, man. You got to keep a happy home.
Right
Got to keep a happy home right now, Mark.
Right to the Pink Orchid.
Mark, you got to keep
there.
a happy home right now, Mark.
Right.
Can't be, don't spread rumors out there. You shut the hell up. I'm tired of you.
Oh, you're like, how do you know about the Pink Orchid? I saw that.
Well, what was the thing you asked me tonight? Flashlight? What is it?
We're not going there right now. We're not doing
Andy,
that.
we want to thank you for coming by, putting up with all our nonsense.
That's Tim. Timmy Whispers, ladies and gentlemen.
I always know when the show needs to be finished. And this is that point.
This is that point,
yes,
exactly.
We've reached that point where it's time to thank everybody for watching and listening. I want to thank Mike Monaco for joining us. He's next on my guy to put in the trunk.
Look, Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Oh, the crew. Happy Thanksgiving to the Sriracha crew.
That's our boys back there and our lady, Maddie.
Enjoy
the
your
Black
green
Widow.
bean casserole, Mark.
Yeah, I will. Extra helping for both of you.
You
You guys have a great
Thanks,
Thanksgiving
Ronnie.
as well, and
You
I'll
too.
see Stacey Thursday evening at the airport. So
Yes,
make sure
you
you
will.
order your Gimme the Hot Sauce, GimmeTheHotSauce.com. Got all the flavors ready to go. Timmy will pack them with love.
That's
He's
right.
gonna pack them. He's gonna pack them.
Stacey, you want to say something for the folks as we get out of here?
Drive home safely, Chicago. Beep beep.
Yeah, be safe out there. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs. Woo! Let me step back.